Dr. Alok Patel, physician at Stanford Health, joining us now on this conversation. So, Doc, more states dropping mask mandates. As you know, we've been talking about this, New York being one of the latest to drop the mask requirement for indoor businesses. So why do you think this is happening now, and do you think it's the right call?
Well, Kira, I think it's the right call to begin looking critically at the data and telling the public this is the time for the off-ramp when we can lift those masks. But I do think that this should be done in a little bit more of a staggered fashion. I understand why the CDC is being a little bit more conservative, because they're talking about a broad swath, a large population, and it doesn't look good to see that divergence between federal guidelines and what local states are doing. But I understand when a city says, hey, we have a high vaccination rate, cases are going down, we have the hospital capacity, and there's still going to be a vaccine requirement for certain businesses. So go ahead and, as the New York Times says, engage at your own risk. And I understand that approach. I just wish it was done a little bit more in a staggered fashion and not kind of all at once.
Well, we learned this morning that Prince Charles, of course, that name brings about a lot of headlines, has COVID for a second time now after having it in March in 2020 before there was even a vaccine. So what does this say about getting COVID multiple times, even now with some questioning the effectiveness of vaccines against Omicron?
Kira, you nailed it right there. I have already gotten messages from a couple colleagues saying, oh my gosh, I'm worried that people are going to see this headline and say that vaccines don't work. This headline actually doesn't tell us a lot that we didn't already know. Because here's the reality. There was a positive test in March 2020. And what was reported out there was that he had a mild case of COVID. So it's possible we didn't see a large amount of antibodies you're going to get from a natural infection. Then we know that the reports say he's fully vaccinated and boosted. And this previous test right now is just a test for SARS-CoV-2, the virus. We don't actually know if this is a severe case of COVID. We know that the vaccines do absolutely work, and their job is not necessarily to block you from getting a small piece of virus material in your nose that can be detected from a PCR. The job of the vaccine is to prevent severe hospitalizations and deaths, and that's what it's still doing. So I hope people don't read too much as this headline and, turn it into some misinformation campaign.
Yeah, point well made. By the way, I'm digging the art over your right shoulder there. Thank you for
I got to keep it funky and fresh.
Yes, you do. You always do. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.